Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lancaster. We're diving into our third episode of this series. So today we'll be finishing off our look at the matches I played on Cyouni's account. And joining me, I have a special guest. You can say hi
Me.
now.
Hi, yes. I am the owner of this account, so.
Alright, so our first match here is against Winter Snow. Alright, so what did you think when you saw... What do you think about this box that I put together?
Well, main thing is it's kind of not quite my style in that I always preferred a more balanced box, but like it
If you want a
probably
balanced box, you should build Juggler because he uses balanced blade.
no, get out. Overall, my assessment of the box is really just that it's a very AoE heavy, really more AoE primary rather than heavy, with a tiny bit of single target that it can pull out. Very offensive though. So it does have certain problems in that if you really get engaged on first, it has potentials to go incredibly wrong, as I think happened in one of the other previous matches you might have seen, or I'm not sure which direction you went in.
Wow. Haven't even watched the content yet. Alright. Yeah, basically that's one of the reasons why I actually had Kyura and Earth's box. Is
And then
she's helpful when you get aggressed on by certain units, by like
my
Clotaire,
Kyura.
etc.
I have a Kyura.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to play with Olivier and Leonhardt. At
Yeah,
least
well,
to try
fair.
him out. Anyway, looking at the opponent's box, it also looks like my opponent could be using Luna to rush. But I think, if this is the match I remember, I think this is the match where I actually first picked Clotaire into Rosen and went single target. And I think I did that because I saw no Christiane. There was only Hilda and Juggler. And I also saw the Yulia, so I knew I could force him into some slow leg DPS. So I believe after pick ban, I thought when I first saw this box, I can end up outranging this guy.
Yeah, that's a pretty good assumption overall, I think.
So he first bans the Hem. I first ban Luna. Because I don't need to first ban a tank. Because then he'll just pick the other. I pick up Clotaire, expecting this is going to cause a Rosen pick. Bans out a
pretty
Stell,
safe
Ares.
expectation.
Yep, so my plan's already in place, and I'm thinking now I get rid of the tanks. And I go full single target with this box, which may be kind of funny, considering what you just said.
Yeah, it's not it's not great. It's single target. Like it can still do it, but like with you remove some of the other single target options. So.
And here I pick up Helena because obviously she's the longest range single target you have.
Yeah. If you're going single target, that's the clear pick.
So Vincent and Burn disappear. There's the SP Cherry. Obviously you want to get rid of long legs yourself.
Yep.
So bye-bye Elwyn and bye-bye Helena. Now here I was slightly annoyed.
He just has a very big potential for problems.
It's like it's not bigger than any of the others.
True.
But I don't like the idea of Cherry possibly getting teleported in and being able to wreak havoc.
That said, you do have some control, but...
Yeah, I think I'm going to be getting rid of, like, Luke and Kyura here.
Yeah,
I'll
that
burn
makes...
Kyura.
Burn is a odd choice to me here.
I was probably a little bit scared of the possibility of Sword Dance coming in and wrecking. Like
Mm,
you say, getting aggressed on is always a possibility. And depending on the troops Burn takes, Helena can't do anything to him.
true.
Here I pick up Flow for the act again potential. I think I don't really have any good single target options left here, so that's why Flow is an important pickup.
You kind of do, but
Well,
I know
I
you pick him
ended up
last,
getting
so
him anyway because I figure this person's thinking, I have Rosen, I don't need to worry about this guy.
yeah, no, like among those options, I would very much have not let that through. If I were him, I would have banned Luve and Bozo instead. Varna is not really that threatening. It's a Rosen.
I don't know. I'm
Especially
thinking
this.
maybe he was worried about a mass attack, but I already have a potential mass attack. Two of them,
Yeah,
even.
like that's not exactly a threat there.
So he picks up his own act again. And now I'm probably going to get rid of Luke because I don't want the reviving unit. And probably Bozel because with an act again and a teleport, if he can just get in,
I'm
that'd be bad
surprised you
news.
weren't taking, you weren't planning on banning out Liana here. Actually, well, let's see what happens. I don't quite recall.
I mean,
I remember the first turn, but
oh, I do ban Leanna here.
yeah, I was like, I wouldn't really advise giving two agains, a teleport, and Sherry.
Well, the thing is, if there is two against teleport and Cherry, I can still always keep Cherry zoned out.
Yeah,
And once she's dead, the rest of the team has no chance.
yeah, I think
Because it's way
that
too
point.
support heavy at that point.
Yeah,
Like, Yulia is a more problematic pick for me than Liana here would have been in this situation.
is she?
Yes?
Yeah, like it,
So obviously I'm going Ethereal Fire Machete for the potential max range of getting his act again and Air Slash to kill something.
yep, like this
Flow
is
is
the
my
most.
mass attack and I bring passive
Oh,
for the chance of act again multiple times. Clotaire, switch him to single target. So in general, my plan was buff up, rush Clotaire right away to keep everyone zoned out as far as possible.
yeah,
And
that's
then
about
just
right.
respond to however he acts.
If I remember what happened early, this ends up being very interesting.
So he buffs up with Rosen for immunities.
I seem to recall. Well, we'll see, but I think it's the turn after this that the thing I'm thinking happens.
Alright, the thing where I put Leonhardt is because where this Tejas and where this Cherry are at, they cannot get any closer to Leonhardt to be within striking range without ending up in
Yeah.
Clotaire's range themselves.
Yeah,
So that's why I positioned him as aggressively up the middle as I did.
I think that this, if I remember
That was
correctly, it's what happens. Yeah,
instant breeze is slightly annoying, but I think I wait till the very end to go after her.
probably. I don't. Yeah, like we'll see here.
Cherry breezing was also rather annoying. So I think I deliberately moved Helena down here as potential bait for Cherry because I think as a human being he's probably a lot more scared of Helena than he is of Leonhardt here.
Oh yes, very much. This one was oh right. This was the one I was talking about, where using the bad again to increase Sherry. A Cloutier for me again. I don't remember what our thought was here. 1-2, 1-2. I think
Yeah, he can only hit Yulia, and I figured I had to go now.
yeah. Before the teleport goes off, yeah. I remember we talked over this one. It's like we were pretty sure still, especially since the Yulia doesn't have uh fixed immunity. Or
Well, we didn't see the
yeah,
bracer on Yulia.
yeah, but can still have fixed immunity. Which it turned out she did, but immolation. Or no, what was she immune to? Just the first Rosen proc,
That
I
was
think?
just Clotair's talent debuffs.
Yeah, yeah. Clotaire
Alright, so
dying as
here I'm
expected, but
thinking... I think she will be able to kill someone using her 3C, so I'm expecting it to be Leonhardt.
I think that's probably what my thought on that was as well.
But he misplays here and goes for Helena. Now, if he got a crit, maybe that could have killed if he crit both troops and Helena. But, like, there's no attack buff here. So, Cherry doesn't end up able to kill her. And then the Shadow Raid also fails to kill.
Well, the big problem here was I'm pretty sure he should have just melee attacked there. That would have had a better chance of killing the Shadow Raid.
It would have, but it would have also left Cherry a lot lower HP to the point where I'm pretty certain, like, Florentia could just do a single attack and take her out.
I don't disagree, but Sherry would have been still at full health because Helena was stunned.
Oh, that's right. Regardless, I think it's Cherry's done her stuff, so all I have to do is get rid of her.
Honestly, that's a perfectly fine trade, just because trading, yeah, or trading Clotaire for Yulia and having Sherry kind of sitting there in danger is, yeah.
So Cherry spin, I figure it's much more important to take out T-Jess. And because he left Leonhardt alone, I'm able to do that. I tried retreating Cherry, but I can pursue with Lucretia.
The breeze on that was not actually necessary, looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it helped because I have no attack buff left, and it let me get to the tree for the extra troop attack and damage.
I'm not certain it did, but I'm not. Yeah, like it never hurts.
But yeah, it's like archer troops and 3C effective against Holy.
I don't think Sherry could have survived. Like, even if he healed up Sherry, I don't think she could have survived afterwards.
Let me go back to this box. I think another reason I first banned Luna, and I believe that's because I see a general lack of Cherry buffers here.
That makes sense, yeah.
So that's another reason why I went the single target route. Even though, like, at this point, you could have picked up Elwyn, could have picked up Helena. Either one of which would have been annoying but possible to deal with. But he ends up picking Cherry, which is who I wanted to pick because there's sort of a lack of good What's that?
Yeah, I'm not sure Sherry's a good follow-up to what he started with.
Yeah, I was thinking I
I
could
would
get
have
rid
said
of her
Helena.
buffers pretty easily. That's another reason why I get rid of Elwyn here. Because now,
Yeah, if I was him, I would have been much. I would have picked Helena, and then let's say, if for example, the Helena TJS, Helena Florentia, Helena Diana combos are a lot more useful there.
anyway, that was the first match that I won with the AoE box. Was Clotaire versus Rosen in a single target fight. Right, so our second match was against Higgins.
All right, this was the
Strat.
interesting.
This was the Yellis box.
Yeah, yeah. Is this Yellis?
So obviously first you have to get rid of Rosen. And I first picked Clotaire here. He's very useful on this cramped map. So he picks SP Sigma. And I think, yeah, first I'm going to get rid of Odious and Liana. Grab the Ham because he's available.
If I remember how this
Clotaire and
plays
Ham is
out.
one of my favorite combos. Because Clotaire provides the initial opening damage that lets Ham teleport. He picks up his remaining healer, who is not great against AoE damage.
Yeah, the set he picked here. Well, we'll see it later. It'll come up later, but it's
Obviously,
not
I
a
need to
good.
be scared of Mariandel's healing, and I got rid of Mystery Knight because of her long-range attack and retreat, which can
I'm
outrange
not
me.
certain you needed to be wary of Mystery Knight in this particular scenario, but it's a still
Yes,
fine
I
ban.
do.
I mean, just because of the cramped space, it's a lot harder for her to actually get as dangerous of a dive in.
No, it isn't.
Well, it's harder than other ones.
So anyway, I pick up Ares again, long range on this map. Flyers are useful. And he picks up Bozel, so I'm thinking, okay, I have a nice range advantage here. I want to get rid of Kruger at this point, and I think I might be getting rid of Werner as well. I'll get rid of Rainforce. Yeah, I was afraid of Rainforce's poke range as well, I think.
That makes sense in this case.
I think I'm going to pick up Luke or Varna, maybe Burn. I'm going to be picking up a buffer here. Yeah,
I
Burn.
am thinking in some ways that you planned out maybe a little too cautiously because you have first turn advantage and a hefty range advantage at this point. Honestly, I think he should not have banned.
Luke is a proper ban here.
Well, I was more thinking Bolzo is still like always fine as a ban, but I think he's too slow compared to the rest of the team to be as threatening.
Maybe, but then SP Sigma would probably have to be dedicated to him. Are you talking about the Bozel ban or his pick a Bozel?
His Bolzo ban.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, if Bozel gets through, he basically at this point has to dedicate a unit to him.
Yeah. Barash was a questionable pick here.
I think his... I don't know if he's familiar with how Clotaire just completely shuts down Varash.
Yeah, that was not great. Like, the main thing is, yeah.
So at this point, I'm thinking Werner and Ham are probably bait since neither have been picked yet, but I'm not going to risk it, and I can deal with
it's not
either of
worth
the
it
other two easy
comparatively.
enough.
Yeah, I think this is where I recommended Werner and with him just because like Epsilon isn't going to be as much of a threat because his stealth isn't going to do much against your
AoE. Yeah.
abundance of AoE.
So from the start, I pretty much have a range advantage. I just have to worry about Sissy White potentially being able to act again, so I need to move in ASAP.
Yeah, like I think your plan should have been that anyways, because you have so much of a range advantage. You can just crush him before he has the chance to do anything.
I only move forward Clotaire once because I'm wary of Bozil coming in and getting a 3C off.
I think you were also no. I think you were more worried about Epsilon there, right?
Oh, there's also that because, yeah, Bozil can provide the faction buff, and then Epsilon gets +2 move, and then +2 range. So with Air Slash, he has 4 range, which is why he brought it.
Kind of not a great thing that he did here, by the way, was he brought a lot of faction buffs. If you take a look at the team,
Oh, he
there's
brought 2 faction buffs.
there. If you check Epsilon, I think there's one on Epsilon
No.
too, wasn't it?
No.
Huh. Who was the one I was thinking?
Maybe you're thinking of a different match.
No, yeah, maybe.
Anyway, dropping the summon forward here allows me to get Wet Ham in, and I'm just thinking, if I get rid of her, I get rid of all of their healing potential. So just get rid of her right away.
That leaves you with basically all the
AoE versus none of the heal.
Basically free at this point for AoE team.
Yeah, so this match is basically already over. I hold a range advantage. And he's got to take turns setting up. So helpful burn breeze. Now my biggest concern is the potential of Bozil coming in and just AoEing everyone. Not so bye Sigma or Epsilon.
Poor Epsilon, just still kind
I
of
basically always kept
into
Ares at the point where he could end up going after Bozil, but Bozil couldn't go after him.
And at this point, Barash has a bad life.
I guess in the battle of fire versus water, fire wins this one.
And yeah, this like I said, this was a right for 7.
So he can only run away Bozil from Ares for so long, and then it doesn't even matter because Burn just takes him out anyway. Right, and then my final match was played against Corium. Now I'm player 2, so this box looks pretty much like the standard box I've been facing all this time.
Which was this match? Well, we'll see.
I wonder if it's going to be a first pick Liana again. Anyway, he gets rid of Luna, so I'm probably going to be playing Estelle. This is a movement buff. So it's first pick Cherry. I'm not worried about banning Oldius yet because I think I might first pick Clotaire here if I remember.
First pick Clotaire is great. It's perfectly fine here.
I could also first pick the Ham, but yeah, I tend to find Cherry is countered by Clotaire.
Yeah, I do that a lot too when I run the standard box.
Anyway, he gets rid of Ares and Helena and picks up Elwyn, so I'm probably gonna pick up Estelle here as a buffer and defense against Elwyn. And I get rid of. I'm not too worried about the healing from T-Jess. So I get rid of Flo, and I mean, why did I say TJS? I meant this girl. Why can't I? Tier's. Yeah, I'm not worried about the healing from Tier's. So I get rid of the TJS teleport and Flo, so there's no Actigan. Pick up Estelle.
Yeah,
I'm betting he's gonna pick up Tier's now.
yep, that's basically it. Expected pickup.
Yep, and she's basically useless against AoE, so I'm happy about that. And I know if I have turn 1 engage potential here with Clotaire and Estelle, and that means either she's gonna be able to use her 3C, in which case there's no healing whatsoever, or she's forced not to use her 3C and then they don't get the benefit from mobility buff.
Pretty much.
So already I feel like I have a pick ban advantage, so here I'm probably gonna get rid of Odious and maybe Luke. Maybe I won't worry about Luke because Clotaire canceled her revive, and TRS isn't exactly removing that debuff very easily. So
yeah,
get rid of
Odious
Ham and Odious. And pick up my own Ham. So now I got the Dream combo. Clotaire can go in, and then Ham with the move buff could probably AoE someone and teleport and get the act again right away. So he picks up Luke. And here I get rid of his main tanks because I figure now doesn't matter who he picks, I can kill whoever I want with Wet Him. Even if he goes like a tank Burn, then Burn's just gonna be dead to Wet Ham.
Yeah, like there's, I guess his theoretical best potential here is Lana into the teleport to immediately just no out. But
anyway,
even
I
then,
figure
that's
these
great.
two are gonna take care of that party pretty easily. Elwyn may survive, and then it's gonna turn into Elwyn versus Estelle, which is something that's works in Estelle's favor usually.
Himiko is also a really great pick here, just because most of his expected setup
I was
is
explaining
very single target.
that's one of the reasons why I picked her, is just to counter the whole single target aspect. I also figure it might bring out Burn. I don't know why, because it's not like Espilon is incompetent. But I was thinking for some reason Himiko's pick might bring out Burn. And I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Why.
I was just imagining someone thinking Sword Dance plus Rupture combo might be really threatening to her.
I mean, yes, but she also is going to get the advantage on you, so
I don't know, I make callouts like that sometimes and it just seems to work. Because I want to see Burn as someone who has the first pick Clotaire. I want my opponent to have Burn.
Like that. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure any pick he had at this point was great, because I'm pretty sure my Himiko has a Judge Talisman, and just kind of quad wholly into Judge Talisman Himiko is
And I decided to pick up the Olive
versus
Garden.
Barda here. I don't quite recall.
I believe it's just the Actigan block to screw with Elwyn and Cherry.
Right, I think that was the plan, yeah. To Actigan block to screw with Elwyn and Cherry, that was why. Right. Because we talked about the whole TRS can't really dispel very much.
Yeah. Anyway, he moves Elwyn right into range. Cherry also starts within range after Estelle gets her buff off for Olivier to just move here, and then he can...
Yeah, very awkward starting position for him, and then he just kind of walked into Olivier range, which, not great.
Also, with everyone starting forward and Luke in the middle, that forces Puppet to be here, which is good for my Ham as well. So
I'm not
obviously buff
sure
up
if he
first.
actually knew what Olivier blocks against. Because if he did, I don't feel like he would have put both Elwyn and Sherry into the AoE zone.
So anyway, his putting Lucretia up front here with his puppet has now forced him to move right away. Which is useful for me, because that means Sherry's still in position to get Actigan blocked. But I decided to get Himiko move forward first. I guess I didn't engage with Olivier just yet.
I think at this point it was kind of to force out a few more turns, and I think this is where you go in with Olivier.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we already talked about. Sherry, Elwyn, not having a good time here. Sherry especially not having any health here.
And usually they bring Miracle instead of Mass Heal, so there's absolutely no way for him to heal and remove debuffs on both these characters.
Unless he brings Goddess Tier, I think it is, which really would have been helpful here, I think.
Alright, so now that Cherry has moved forward, she's basically dead to the ham, so I could just go in with Clotaire and Clotairize some people. Not fully certain what my rationale was for hitting these three instead of these four. I mean, I guess I was thinking long-term, if Puppet's dead, Luke's a lot less threatening.
I'm not sure you could have hit those four thanks to that one tile.
Oh, that's right. That's Depth Tile. That's why. I keep forgetting.
It's a very easy one to forget just because all the other ones are swamp. Miracle, but still, again, we talked about this. Elwyn, still not realizing he's again blocked.
And she manages to survive the ham, but... Anyway, this shift position basically guarantees the Puppet's demise, I think. Oh no, he gets Healing Light off, that's why he lives.
He does survive a little more than I thought he would, but still, Himiko coming in really makes life hard here. Because, like I said, Judge Talisman.
Yeah.
At this point, it looks like it's really coming down to Estelle. Right, I forgot Himiko survived here.
Yeah.
Well, this is really just to protect Himiko. And
then
also
we just
make it
push
to
Elwyn
Estelle.
out, so now he's out of range of being able to strike anyone. So he just moves forward, which gives Estelle the first strike. But I decided to go with Himiko first.
The 212 HP Himiko, and she stole Healing Light too. I think that was mainly down to his misplays into the Act Again block.
Yeah.
Because that really actually started coming back for him for a second.
Yeah, he made it a lot easier for me by just how he positioned at the start. I mean, that starting position, there were multiple problems with it.
It was not great, no. Part of the problem is he started far forward, which, like,
you don't want to do that versus Clotaire usually. Unless, like, you
Yeah.
have your own Clotaire.
There's a reason Clotaire is my favorite anti-rush tool.
Yep, and Puppet being here. because he put her in the middle means that he has to move both these units to be away from Wetham. So he started off in a bad position and was forced to move units in a certain order that was not advantageous to him.
Yeah, the other thing was, like I said, the again block zone that he's standing in.
Yeah.
Because, like, if Sherry and Elwood had actually gotten those, again, turns that moment they triggered, I think this could have gone a lot worse for you.
Yeah, it could have, but, well, that is where I decided to stop playing on your account. I had played 11 matches at this point and was kind of tired. Yeah, the box worked out okay, but I think, like I mentioned last time, I would probably try changing a few units up if I were to play your account again.
I did miss that, so let's talk about the changes you were thinking. Because this is really the one I meant by it's so easy to get engaged on and then crippled.
Yeah, I sort of underestimated Kruger here. His threat. I should have pick banned him a little bit earlier. But in general, with an AoE box, I find pure AoE to be a little bit not good. So I like having some more single target options here.
Yeah, every time I've tried pure AoE, it's gone horribly for me.
And just with the meta how it is with so many long-range target threats, the fact that Leonhardt needs to jump in and set up usually means he needs to jump into a location where there's going to be a unit who can just kill him before he can act. So I find Leonhardt just kind of ineffective in the meta anymore.
It depends how you use him, because it's also part positioning. The spot that he was positioned in was not great.
I'm not referring to this match, I'm talking about in general.
Yeah, in general, it's tricky, I think.
Leonhardt can be okay as player 1. In my experience, he's terrible as player 2. Unless you somehow manage to pick ban your opponent's box into getting rid of all long-range threats, but each box has way too many of those anymore, all of whom can end up killing him. So TJS can kill him, Cherry can kill him, Wetham can kill him, Kyura can kill him, Luke can kill him. There's just too many units these days who can kill him before he gets to engage.
Can Kyura kill him through the 30%?
Pretty certain she can. Like, most Kyuras are running Meteor now. And also, most Kyuras bring Faith as well.
Yeah, I'd have to do some more testing on that, but he does have a pretty decent range. It just requires a very different positioning than the one you used here. It mainly just relies on you trying to catch people at the edge of the range, and then set up for the second move.
Anyway, talking about the box and not this match, I would be getting rid of Leonhardt next time. I might keep Olivier just as an act-again block and general anti-flyer, anti-Wedham spook.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I could see it. My Olivier is pretty good for that. I just found that the inability to remove the again block and the ability to move twice into the positioning for the unremovable again block is a lot stronger if you're looking for that. But, like, different tools for different uses.
That, and if you're playing a more tank push-up kind of style, like if you have Hilda, then you can keep your Leonhardt a lot more protected.
Which you usually do.
Anyway, yeah, Leonhardt would be the first unit I'd swap out of this box. And with your units, I'd probably put Kyura in.
Yeah, I think Kyura gives something this box lacks a lot. Both in like A assassins, B kind of the whole, like I said, mentioned, healing is not great if you get like as soon as you get hit once.
Yeah. So I've been running 2 assassins in my own box. Which recently was Illustrial and Epsilon, but this coming weekend I will have a new addition to play around with that should be very annoying for certain people. I'm looking forward to playing around with Werner.
I find him really annoying, just even with the fact that I can maneuver around a lot of his tools.
Yeah, well, he has to be a priority ban, I think, for a lot of the boxes I'm gonna be facing.
It makes
So
sense.
Illustrial is good, obviously, but she's sort of map dependent as well. Whereas Werner's
I'm
an
still not.
all-purpose, just plonk him down somewhere, and then the enemy finds him really annoying to deal with. So anyway, that's
I'm not sold on Epsilon actually. With it could go decent. It's like
why wouldn't you be sold
I'm
on Epsilon?
I'm just thinking in conjunction with the rest of the box.
Oh, he's great.
Yes,
He
that's like I
buffs
guess it's
Juggler, meaning Juggler does gigantic damage, and he's a long-range assassin himself. And he counters single target rush pretty well.
that is true. Yeah, because of the 100% thing.
That and people tend to let me have him picked kind of late so I can go my usual Juggler early pick, and then he can end up buffing Juggler. Usually I don't get Juggler and Himiko and him, but he also buffs Himiko.
Yeah.
But anyway, with
I'm not.
Illustrio, I'm losing a little bit of range pressure, but in return, I'm getting an amount of how do I kill this thing pressure instead of with Werner.
Yeah, like it's a different sort of pressure because you can also just go attack if you think that it work. But yeah, like the defensive pressure is annoying.
Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. So if you see this box this coming weekend, just know that it's me, and you have nothing to fear, obviously. And with that, I'm going to say bye-bye.
Later.